Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. And if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you'll stay. And happy Black History Month, y'all. Overconsumption is ruining my life and making me miserable. And I know that may sound a little bit dramatic, but I definitely feel like it has delayed where I thought I was gonna be by this age. I'm 27 now. By 27, I at least thought I would be living by myself. But because of overconsumption, along with student loan debts, it's just not possible for me right now. And I am very blessed to be living with my parents. Every day I'm like, thank you. Thank you, God, for giving me parents who love me so much. Also, I don't think it's like the worst thing to live at home in your 20s. I know that my experience is probably not the exception. So I thought it would be cool to talk about it and let y'all know that if y'all are struggling like me, you're not by yourself. Why do we even overconsume? Like, what's the point? It's like, yeah, I know I already have 2 bottles of perfume that I'm trying to get through, barely used, but let me go ahead and buy these 2 other ones too, just so I'm covered. Like, what even is causing that? So for some of us, I think that we overconsume because we're chasing a feeling. It could be happiness. Having packages come in every other day, every day, does give us a dopamine rush. It does feel good. But the thing is, happiness is not an emotion that's permanent. It's one that comes and goes, just like every other emotion. For me, I was definitely like, this feels good. So when I feel down, I'm gonna order something. Because when that package arrives, it's gonna feel amazing. I think another thing that we're trying to achieve when we overconsume to the point it's like this is too much is we're trying to compensate for something we see as a defect or a flaw. So we think confidence will come from the car we drive, the clothes that we have on, how our hair looks, our makeup. I do think those things can contribute to how we show up in the world. But again, when our confidence is solely based on the material things that we have, it's fleeting, it's not permanent. So you'll always be in that constant toxic cycle of being like, okay, what else can I get? Comparison will really get us in trouble. It's not only the thief of joy, but it is the thief of money. Comparison has stolen so much money from me, y'all. As humans, we want to belong. We want other people to see what we have and perceive us a certain way and be like, yeah, they're this kind of person. They're that girl. Those types of relationships aren't built on nothing worth having if people are just wanting you around because what you can do for them or what you have. I also think we see people like influencers living a certain lifestyle and assume that everything is going well for them because of the life they show us online. I can say I've been very influenced by social media, being like, oh, that is cute, especially as somebody who creates content. I often see bigger influencers have like a very aesthetic backdrop and just life in general, and I'm like, okay, so in order for my content to blow up, I need these things too, not realizing that sometimes things just work out for certain people. They don't have to do anything special, it just happens. But sometimes it has nothing to do with like the looks of things. It has everything to do with the content you're putting out. Sometimes it's got to be like, oh, it's not what they have, it's who they are, you know? Like, some people got it. I do think I got it, but I didn't always feel that way, so I was using certain items and objects as a way to compensate for that. And that goes into my next point. I think influencers, social media, those ads play a huge part in overconsumption, and that's why people are trying to de-influence right now, which I still think is influencing, because if you're telling someone don't buy this instead, you're still influencing them to spend money, which is why even as a micro influencer, I work my hardest to be mindful about the types of brands I choose to share, because I don't want the people who follow me to feel like they have to keep up with something to be seen as worthy. You know, having certain things can also make you feel like you're closer to living that dream lifestyle that you want. I am recovering from this. I don't want to overconsume anymore. If I stay in this constant cycle of feeling like I need the next best thing or I'm not good enough, I will continue to accrue debt. I'll never feel satisfied. And as I'm getting older, of course I like to be fly. I like to look cute. But experiences are becoming more and more important to me. And if I keep, trying to keep up with everyone, I'm not going to be able to see Beyonce. Beyonce? Choose your hard. Do you not want to have the latest and greatest, or do you not want to see Beyonce? I'm gonna go with not having everything that everybody else has and go see my girl. So some of the things that have been helping me kind of stay on track, because I'm not perfect, still learning, is I literally added up all my debt and put it on a sticky note at my desk so it is right at my face. So anytime I get the urge to go on a little spree on Amazon, I'm like, no girl, look at that number on your desk. Look at that. You want it to be more? You want it to go higher? No. I've been really trying to use the products that I have before buying more. Because the thing is, like, I shouldn't have 5 different types of body lotion. There's no reason for that. I have one body. And also, these things have expiration dates. So it's like being more mindful, like, do I actually need this or would it be nice to have? Another thing I'm working on is engaging less with short form hauls or anything that is showing me, I bought all this stuff, it's so cute, you need it. It does trigger me to shop. So for me, unfollowing accounts that like show like, oh, these are the best Amazon skim dupes, or look at my Ulta haul, I have had to stop consuming that kind of content, and that's why I don't create it as much. I can't contribute to what has caused me stress. It just doesn't feel right. Of course, as someone who is a micro influencer, I do share products, but again, I'm trying to be more mindful with what I share, how often I share things. I've been really working on delaying instant gratification, because instant gratification, not only in this context, but in every aspect of life, has made me feel like I am so behind. Something's not happening like that, I don't feel good about it. But that's the kind of world we live in, where that's the point. They want you to feel like that, so you'll consume more. I've deleted Klarna. I've deleted Afterpay, ShopPay, ZipPay. When I say I've had all of the payment plan apps, I have. And I had to be like, girl, if you can't afford it at this moment, then you don't need it right now.
It's like, but life is short, I'm treating myself.
But saying that over and over again, it will get you in trouble. There's a good balance between delusion, like money comes to me so easily, and being realistic with what is right in front of you right now. Another thing is I have a wish list on my Notion, and I just keep everything in there that I've been wanting to buy. This helps because generally my shopping is like on an impulse. I'll see something I like and I'll buy it. Myself, my spending budget, and let's say there's an item on my list that takes up that whole budget, then that's all I'm getting. I'm trying to be more mindful about how I shop, how I buy things, because I don't want to worsen the position I'm in. It's just not worth it. So some of us use shopping as self-care. It can be, but it's not the only way to take care of yourself. So I wanted to give you guys some things you can do when you're not feeling your best but want to take care of yourself for free. So one of the big things I want everybody to do this year is say no to people. Say no to yourself. If you make a commitment to something and you get to the day before and you're like, I really do not have the capacity to go out to dinner tonight, to get on FaceTime with someone, it's okay to be like, can we reschedule? It's okay to say no to prior commitments if that means you're taking care of yourself. Now there's a balance between that. I think it's important to know when you're isolating yourself versus when you are really just needing time. So another thing that really helps me is cleaning up, because if I look around my room and it's a hot mess, I don't feel good. I get stressed out. I'm like, why'd you let it get like this? What's going on? If you spend like 5 to 10 minutes a day tidying up something, because let me tell you, my room is not spotless by any means, but I don't feel cluttered and crowded right now. And that also helps with seeing what you have. When you can see what you have, you're less likely to go and buy something else. I have like a mood boosting playlist, but just a playlist you can go to and listen to and feel good. If you're shopping to cover up negative emotions, you're just running away from them, and until you address them head on, they're just gonna continue to come back, and that cycle continues. This is coming from personal experience. I just have been in this cycle, and it's a hard one to get out of. I kind of mentioned this, is to audit the media you're consuming. On social media, and every other person you're following is pushing a product or making you feel like where you're at's not good enough, or like you gotta hustle more. Anything that makes you feel sucky about yourself, you can unfollow them. If that person is me, unfollow me. Like, for real. Your well-being is more important than the people you follow. Podcasts. I also used to be like a true crime girly, 100%. I noticed that I was always scared. I was always feeling nervous, not feeling, too great about being outside. So I had to take a step back. So taking a few hours to audit these things, to get rid of the things that aren't helping you feel good, can contribute to you taking care of yourself. Sometimes you're in certain phases where you're like, oh, I want to consume this kind of media. It makes me feel great. But then you go back to it and you're like, why did I even, like, what are all these accounts? What are all these podcasts? What is all this music? Movement. I'ma always stand, going on a walk, stretching, Pilates. It's just a good way to take care of yourself in general. It's like it covers everything, like mind, body, and soul. So yeah, I'm always gonna tell y'all to move. Even if you just get up and dance to that playlist that you created a second ago, that will help you feel better. It's tiny things that really help. Another thing that I like to do when I feel like, let me go buy something because I'm sad, or let me go buy something because I had a bad day, is journal. I don't write when I'm journaling. I like to do voice notes because I'm usually in a very emotional state. So I like to get everything out, go back like an hour or two later and listen to it. That gives me time to digest what I was experiencing and call out what was actually happening versus what I felt like was happening. Not in like a let me gaslight myself kind of way. Just to see what actually happened versus what am I assuming is going to happen. And that helps a lot. It's just like putting a pause on everything and just, again, being more mindful. I guess at the root of this, it's about being mindful. Like I said earlier, I know that my experience is not the exception. I know so many other people are going through what I'm going through. So I wanted to share this, and I hope it resonated with some people. I hope the tips will help. And I will see you next time. I love y'all. Bye.